Om Namah Shivaya. In the last satsanga, we're speaking about false gurus, and now I started next at the end of satsanga. The last satsanga, I started with the genuine gurus, true gurus. So I said that according to Abhinavagupta, there are three categories of gurus in this order. So you have to take gurus like this in this order. First, you have to go for the great gurus, liberated from both Paurusha Jnana, ignorance about the self. So they see the truth. They had an experience of the truth at least. He were touched by the divine. And Bauddha Jnana, intellectual ignorance. They have to be scholars. They have to know about scriptures. This is the best guru. If for some reason you cannot find one guru like this, it's very possible. You have to go for scholars. Some people say no, for enlightened. No, for the scholars. Second category of guru. That's why when I was in India, people told me, you are not a real guru, you are not a real guru. Some stupid people I had like this. So I say, it's impossible because I'm a scholar, but they didn't understand me because they don't know Abhinavagupta. If I'm a scholar, I'm guru. Second category, but I'm guru already. Yes, I'm not a false guru if I'm a scholar. When you're a scholar, you're a guru already. So liberated from Bauddha Jnana only. So a scholar is a person who was studying like crazy for a lot of years. And finally, he removed his Bauddha again. So you can learn from them, and 50% of your past is done. So you don't waste your time with these teachers. And the third category of gurus are lower gurus, liberated from Paurusha Jnana only. So they are not a scholar, but they had a contact with the divine. They had a contact with the divine, but they are not scholars. This is the last category according to Abhinavagupta. In general, they are not recommended. There are a lot of people like this, a lot, not million, obviously, but there are a few people like this I knew in the past. They are not a scholar, but they have a strong experience of the self. They know what the self is. They had experience with the divine. They they underwent, because in Spanish suffer, but they underwent a transformation by the divine. They had a contact with the divine. You have a contact with the divine? A strong transformation? He appeared in his fullness? Never. Well, this is the guy who is enlightened. He had a contact with the divine, appear. The other day, for example, I was sleeping. In general, I have these experiences every week, but never so strong like now. I was sleeping. In general, I have bliss the whole day, but never, because when there is bliss, means that his power is present. The power of Shiva is present. That's why you have bliss. You have bliss, okay. It's simple to me to have bliss. But his full experience is not all the time because it's the body. You understand? So he's not present. His power is present, but he's absent. What is this? It's a mystery. He's present when he's absent, and he's absent when he's present. It's a mystery of Shiva. But sometimes he's present. So I was sleeping and he came to me. So when I woke up, he was there. I can't explain what is this. It's like waking up with a dinosaur near you. And you say, what is this? It's something like this, like a monster with you, yes? And it's dual, it's dualistic, my narration, my telling about this, but it's not dualistic, it's non-dualistic. So it's like we saw each other, yes, and what is it? It was so obvious that all was him to me, yes, and so obvious that I was one with him, and so massive the experience, yes, because I was crossing two states of consciousness. But this thing there, yes, in my room, yeah, watching. He was very interested about something, but I don't know what happened. And next appear. He's very sleeper. He disliked to be all the time on the camera. So I continue with his Shakti. Yes, please. Nice experience. Next in the night, the same. My wife was speaking that maybe the Lord won't help us, something like this, to move, yes, to from Moscow or something, and all of a sudden he appeared. I watch her. It's like a dinosaur. It's like a big T-Rex or something like this appeared. To watch her, yes, I saw when something happened like this, I'm become static, still. So in order not to scare him away, yes, he's like an animal, escapes. Appear, yes, to watch her. I don't know, maybe like saying, what are you saying? But I won't help. I won't help you. Something like this. But scary situation with this guy. He's scary. It's very big, massive, powerful. But in general, he's absent. In my life, in your life, he's absent. He doesn't care. His power makes sense. Control the body, everything. Speaks through my mouth. He's absent. He's in another place with other problem, maybe. I don't know. His life like this. But sometimes he comes to watch. For example, when I'm translating, yes, Tantra Sara, all of a sudden he comes to watch. He's interested in something. And next escape again. Mystery of Shiva. You know this? Your husband is like this? Well, you need a contact with him, full contact. It's like an animal. It's like a, but with wisdom. Like a big animal. I can explain better. You see nothing, but you feel him. It's obvious. That's why when atheistic can ask me, how do you know that God exists? It's how to explain to him that I know that God exists. Stupid. How to explain? He will tell me, God doesn't exist. Oh, really? Oh, really? No idea what they're speaking about. They're ignorant. And because they never had these experiences, because they didn't receive grace enough. When you receive grace, or because he's interested in Tantra Sara, he can to watch it. What's happening here is what I'm doing. But next he moves. It's like a big snake like disappear and move. Next he moves. He's not interested in anything else in my life because my life is common life. There's nothing. He Shakti is with me. Please. Now, for example, I feel this. Yes, it's Shakti. Some people can say yes, but it's him too. Yes, it's him, but he's absent. How to explain that he's present and absent at the same time? It's Shiva is like it. But when he's interested in something in my life for some reason, mysterious reason, he comes and watches. Observe. That's why nobody can cheat me because they try to cheat. They cannot cheat him. They can tell me, oh, I'm a great guru from Himalaya or something, but if he doesn't appear, I don't believe you. Even if you come with the face of Jesus Christ, I don't believe you. You can have a beard like this with marks like this, agorices, marks here with the face like this to tell me I'm a light. And if he doesn't appear, I don't believe you. If he doesn't appear, you are not interested to him. If you are not interested to him, you are not interested to me. So it's possible to cheat me. You can cheat Gabriel, blah, 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 but to me, no. Because if I feel like he came, okay, there is something. For example, when I hear songs, I detect when he's interested or not. When there is real devotion in the voice of the person singing, yes, for example, bhajans to God, to sing India, yes, immediately he appears. He reacts to devotion. That's why they say Abhinavagutta and Tantra Sara, the men rule for the disciple is full devotion for the guru. Yes, to the guru is the main rule. Full devotion to the guru. He reacts. If there is no real devotion, you can have the voice of Caruso. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. Nothing. Nothing happens. That's why it's impossible to cheat him or to cheat the guru. Yes, you can cheat temporarily, but in the end, the guru will know because he feels him. He's not appearing. He's not interested. That's why one time when I arrived at Ganeshpuri for the second time, yes, 2017, I noticed the presence of someone there because he appeared. Yes, when I entered with the car, I remember Ganeshpur is the town of my Guru Muktananda, yes, and my Grand Guru Bhagavan Nityananda, the town near Mumbai. And I told the guys at that time, someone is here. Some guru, someone enlightened is here. How do you know? Yes. It's like in the Star Wars, yeah, that they feel the force. Well, it's something like this, because Star Wars is copying from yogis, obviously. They are copying. So you feel the force. You feel him. He appears. Next, when I left Ganeshpur, I didn't feel this. So I told him, that person moved away to another part. How do you know? Because feels. He's attentive. So if I feel him, yes, someone is around. Some enlightened is around. No way to cheat him. You can cheat me, but not him. Okay, the Lord, this mysterious Lord. You need an encounter with him. When the time comes, you will have an encounter with him. You will see what it is. Never again you will be the same. You can never be the same. Changes because the contact. Forever you change. You will be another person. Good, bad, nobody knows, but different. You change. You need a direct contact with him. Full. This is enlightened. Fantastic. Nothing in this world is like nothing. You can go to whatever beautiful place you want in this planet, and Mother Nature. No, he's superior. Yes, people like Mother Nature. I mean, I like to, but I'm not crazy about Mother Nature. I like only, but an orgasm with Mother Nature. He's superior. You can be in any horrible place, but he's with you is superior. But his is, I had the experience with him. That's why I tell you, nothing compares. Nothing. Not even a beautiful woman, whatever you want to mention, yes, or beautiful man, because he's full and he's completely superhuman. That's why I recommend you, not only you, the disciple, all people watching the video, I recommend you a full experience with him before dying. Because if you die without a full experience with him, it's like you were dead already. All life is dead. That's why in the Bible they say the ones who don't have love of God, they are dead. Only are alive. Only those are alive who have the love of God. This love of God is an encounter with him. Call him whatever you want. Shiva, Brahma, Jehová in Spanish, yes. How is Yahweh? Yiddish. Yahweh, Allah, whatever you want. It's this guy. It's inside you, it's you. The great surprise when you realize that it's you, yes, by his grace. Tremendous. The contact with this dinosaur, this monster. Not because he's ugly, it's monster because it's massive. It's like you are now, I don't know, in Brazil, in Ponta Grossa, happy there on the beach, and all of a sudden you are transported to Jupiter. Something like this. Jupiter, something like this. What is it? And you see Jupiter. Yes, the heart. Well, it's something like this. It's so impressive. That's why he's the greatest being in the universe. He's famous. Not Gabriel Pradipaka, not Robert Basca. No, he's famous. He's famous. That's why you worship him, yes, and you follow him. Everybody will love you because everybody loves him, whether they know or whether they don't know. And so impressive, this guy. All the time when I speak about him, I'm apparently exaggerated, but no, I'm not exaggerated. It's short. I'm falling short all the time. So you must always go for the great guru, I repeat in the book. But if you cannot find one, you must go for a scholar. There are scholars around. The scholar, for example, was Jayadeva Singh, was a scholar. Now he passed away, obviously, I don't know, in the 90s, passed away. He was very old, 96, 97, I don't remember. His last translation was para Trika. Jayadeva Singh was a real scholar. Now there are scholars. This guy, Dinkowski, how it is Polish guy, is a scholar. Dinkowski. So you go to him, you can have 50% of the pass finished. You understand? Another scholar, I don't know. There are scholars. Sanskrit scholars too, Trika scholars. Lakshmana Jew was a scholar also. He was enlightened too. Great guru. This is, you have a Lakshmana Jew teacher, guru, okay, he's a great guru. Great. Enlightened and with knowledge, massive knowledge. It's a very good luck. But in general, people go with the third category gurus, enlightened only. In general, they go with apart from the false gurus that are massive, yes, but in general, they find some third category guru. For example, I found my guru, Muktaranda, wasn't completely a scholar. He knew a lot about the scripture, but wasn't completely a scholar. Completely a scholar. Manaju, no. No, but he knew a lot about Sanskrit and scriptures. Mayacharya wasn't a scholar. Was only, in my opinion, Mayacharya is enlightened. My yoga teacher is enlightened, or I don't know, he lives now. I suppose that he lives. He's enlightened, but according to my knowledge now, I don't know now. Maybe he was studying scripture, but when I was with him, he wasn't a scholar. Why I knew? Because I knew more than him about scripture. So no, he wasn't a scholar. So enlightened people with contact with Shiva. It's impressive anyway, the contact with people like this. Even if they are the third category guru, it's impressive because they know the dinosaur. They have an encounter with the dinosaur. They are marked by this animal. It's a holy animal. I call Shiva the holy animal. It's an animal because it's natural, without ego. It's scary. But it's not an animal. I call him holy animal because he's holy, full of wisdom. But he has no ego. He doesn't come to you and tell you, oh, you're a bad person. No, never. He approaches us like an animal. It's like an animal. My cat never told me you're a bad person, you're a good person. Never. It's an animal. It smells me. Touch him, yes. He loves you or he doesn't love you. An animal. You're not an animal, yes? My cat loves me, okay. He sleeps with me, he comes to me, but doesn't love you. It's nature. Well, the same with Shiva. Loves you, doesn't love you. He doesn't come to you, no. He dislikes you. You can tell me, but I'm Shiva, I'm with yes, but he dislikes you. He smells you. No, dislike. Dislike this person. So I don't come. One day, I like. So he comes. This is enlightenment. He comes. Why you are likable now and not before? Nobody knows. If he's smelling only. Like an animal. It's like an animal. Imagine a big bear coming to you, yes, and you are static there because of fear, yes, and the big bear comes to you and Maybe will attack you, maybe won't attack you. Nobody knows, yes? It's nature. No ego there, nothing. He decides your life or your death. Yes, maybe it smells only and leaves. Maybe no, attacks you. That's why animals are so pure, yes, so without ego, without opinions, without evil, no evil, he has no evil. It's holy. And you cannot lie to him because he knows everything. You cannot tell him, no, do you masturbate? No, never, never in my life. You cannot lie to him. He knows everything. He was with you, everything. He has all the film with him. He knows everything in your life, every aspect, every point. So you cannot cheat him or try to be what you are not. No, he smells you. He liked. For example, he liked me in 2010, yes, so he gave me liberation. Next, he disappeared for 2 or 3 years. In 2012, he disappeared, 2013. 14 returned again. Nobody knows, yes, what? If you are enlightened, why he returned after 3 years? Because he's like this. Even enlightened, he's so free that he comes and goes at will. People think that it's all the time. No, it's not coming and going. You cannot receive him all the time. The body will be destroyed completely. And now evidently he liked me again because he returned. Yesterday he returned again, yes, to watch me. I'm interesting to him. During my translation of Tantrasara, only a few times came, so I'm not so interested with Tantrasara. With Shiva Sutra, I was very interested to watch what I'm doing. And when he comes, your ego disappears. Because it's very little. It's like Jupiter coming, yes, and the Earth disappears. It's little. That's not important. And or the sun, worse, bigger. You know how many Earths fit in the sun? How many planets Earth fit in the sun? 1,200,000. It's so big that it's ridiculous. They were counting, just putting Earth, 1,200,000 or 300. It's significant. So the sun comes, imagine, and you cannot be ego at that time. You cannot be false, nothing. You only are one with him. There is nothing else to do. Okay. You cannot, so you go to a scholar. Anyway, you cannot even find a scholar. You should go for a lower guru, though this is not especially recommended. But a few people have this, like me, for example. But yes, something is better than nothing, as the saying goes. So I had a great guru, but deceased at that time. My Guru Muktananda. I was between a scholar and great Guru Muktananda. Between great Guru and scholar. Wasn't completely scholar like Ramanaju, but not completely ignorant like the lower Guru, no. But next I have an Acharya, only lower Guru. I couldn't have a scholar. No. I have contact with the scholars, maybe, or Advaita Vedanta. Yes, I had contact. One contact. He was a scholar, but he knew a lot. So he was a scholar. Advaita Vedanta, and I had contact with the dualistic Vedanta scholar. Yes, I had contact. And I had contact apparently with a Sankhya scholar. Don't remember what. Maybe he was a scholar because you never ask him, hey, you're a scholar. No, yes, more or less you detect because of knowledge. Okay. The common characteristic of the true gurus is that all of them consider the self to be divine and residing right here and right now. No, that will come in a spaceship, the guru, or in the future like a messiah. No. The self is not coming in the future, or it's in another part of the universe. It's here. It's present. So you can begin your spiritual path solidly with them, because you know through their teachings that the self is here, inside you, as it were. You are inside him. And that he's possible to be realized by you. Spiritual enlightenment, also known as liberation, is real and possible then. So it's possible. Not that it's, oh, well, maybe in the future, nobody knows when. No, no, no. Oh, he's living in Mars. No, 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 no. It's here. And it's possible. It's difficult, but it's possible. It's not zero possibility. No, there is a margin of possibility. Of course, genuine gurus teach you everything related to the self through different approaches and methods, but all of them will always point in the direction of the self. Yes? Some of them could initiate you into the spiritual path, others could teach you the truth according to a particular philosophical system. Even other genuine teachers will take you directly to liberation through their special instruction, etc. In spite of their differences, they share the common feature that they will not make the spiritual aspirants waste their time uselessly. On the contrary, their help will become absolutely indispensable. You understand? You don't waste your time with it. Muktananda had in the past contact with, when he was a disciple, or he was a spiritual aspirant in search of a guru, because he was in contact with the false gurus. So he said that in order to escape from false gurus, he only pretended to be completely ignorant. For example, false gurus ask him, how many gurunas are there? So he replies, 4. No, 4, no, 3 gurunas. Satwa Raja Santava. So laugh at him. So because he had never any knowledge, he was completely ignorant. No false guru wanted to take him under his protection. So in this way, he escaped from false gurus, simulating to be completely ignorant about yoga, about Sanskrit, about anything. And because he lived in ashrama with false gurus, but he didn't want to be disciple of those false gurus. You understand? He wanted to live there only and eat food and to have some roof on him, nothing else. And the notion that the limited individual can be free on his own without any extra help from someone else is true in very few cases only. The vast majority of spiritual aspirants will always need genuine gurus at least for a certain period of time. They cannot be free without their help. Yes, it's true that the limited individual is the very self gone crazy. But it's also true that the limited individual in general cannot realize that he is the self without the help of one or several spiritual teachers. This is taught in the scripture of practically all philosophical systems in India. No other way then for the most part. So the guru is primordial in most spiritual philosophies in general, philosophical system in general. So it's primordial. Even with dualistic, even it's primordial the guru. It's all the time the guru in the middle. But you don't need the statement of the scriptures if you have a little common sense at least. For instance, if you have a problem with the hardware of your computer, you go to a technician and have your problem resolved. Yes? It's common. If you injure some part of your body, you get a doctor and recover your health. It's common, yes? If you want to build a bridge, you call engineers, etc. However, if you want to accomplish the most crucial and difficult mission of your entire existence, you can do it on your own. What kind of teaching is this? Oh, really? Is this way of thinking a reasonable one, or only another product of spiritual ignorance? I need everyone for everything, but when it's about spiritual path, no, I can do it myself. Stupid. When you cannot solve so many ordinary problems on your own, how are you supposed to solve the colossal problem called spiritual ignorance by yourself? How? to remove Varna by yourself. You don't even know that you have Varna if you don't have a guru. If the guru didn't tell you, you don't know that you have Varna. You live all your life like this. It's like this. Remember this tale about the elephant with a little rope around his neck. Big elephant with a stupid rope like this. The rope, yes. So people wonder why the elephant is not freeing himself on the rope. Yes, pulling such a big elephant. No, because they put this rope around his neck when he was a very little elephant, a child. So he got used to the rope to be tied there. And when he was adult, he never cared about pulling, yes, and escape from the bondage. Well, people are the same. They live with Arnavamala and they never doubt. That's why I've been about to say Arnavamala is undoubted. Nobody doubts about Arnavamala. They live like cows, yes, waiting for being killed for the meat. But they don't understand. You see cows with the fence, cows there, pastando, I don't know in English how it's pastando. Pastando is eating grass, pastando, happy. You want to be free? Moo! Well, what to do? Moo! Don't you want to be free? No. I'm free. Okay. Next, a guy comes with a knife, kill the cow. Good luck. So people live like this, most of them. They don't want to be free. They want better salary, they want family, they want medicine, they want this, they want that, blah, comfort, this, but they don't want liberation. Liberation from what? If I'm completely free. You're not free. And when you are in certain situations in life, you feel your fetters. You know what is fetters? Grilletes. In Spanish. You feel your grilletes. Shackles, fetters. Candali in Russian. In Portuguese, algemas. In Hungarian, check. You feel your fetters, the chains around. Yes, but you want to move and you can escape. Yes, attachment to another person. You can escape. You are in love. Yes, this love. People call love this crap. Okay, you are in love and you can escape from that person. You are jealous and you can escape your jealousy. Bondage. At that time, you suffer a lot, and you want to escape, but you cannot. Next, when the situation is gone, you return like a cow, yes, to live with fences around, so I continue to eat grass. But when the guy comes with a knife, you want to escape, yes? At that time, you feel bondage. But when the knife is gone, yes, it's far from you, you don't feel bondage. You feel that it's normal to live like this. It's normal, no doubt. It's not normal, it's sickness. Nobody wants to live like this. So this is absolutely nonsensical for the most part, to try to do it by yourself, enlightenment, yes? The only exception would be if you had been born almost liberated already. But this is an oddity, una rareza, in Spanish. Even in this case, you had to resort to spiritual teachers in your previous lives, Therefore, there is no doubt that the limited individual will realize the self in himself. But if you try to carry the individuality thing to the extreme by avoiding the presence of genuine spiritual teachers on your spiritual path, you are not thinking rightly. No. Okay, it's in you, the self, but don't be extreme. You need help. This is the right way of thinking. You get liberation with the help of those who already got it, and not otherwise, except in the case where your spiritual state is very high from the moment you are born in this world. People like this, like Ramana Maharshi, for example, okay, people like this can be exceptional, yes, okay. They did it without guru, but they're exceptional. So the spiritual aspirant has finally found a genuine guru. What is next? He has to ask the guru permission to be his disciple. It's not that you come, hello, I'm disciple. No, no. He has to accept you. You understand how stupid people are? They can't do. It's like when they go to Hatha Yoga classes. Yes, Hatha Yoga classes. Okay, how is? Suscribo, me inscribo. En España, me inscribo en la clase, okay, suscríbete, define where I have to sign, nothing else. No, no, it's not so simple. The guru has to smell you and check if he wants you. Yes, I will try to enter my group in Facebook. Yes, my Trika Vision group there. You have to explain, okay, your previous experience, you have guru, why you are coming here. You have to explain why you are coming here. Not that you enter and that's it. Yes. Maybe the guru doesn't want you. Why not? Who are you? Las manas you incarnate? No. Maybe the guru just say, no, no, you are very little to me. No, I don't want. Go to another teacher. Maybe the guy is like Abhinavagauta. Imagine you with Abhinavagauta. You understand nothing there. It's very elevated, the guy. Very complicated. Why to be with him? It's useless. Or go into martial arts to the highest dan, yes? In Aikido, there are 10 dan. So the 10th dan only. Yes? No, it's useless. For what? The guy moved the finger and you die. What's the point of being with a teacher like this? It's stupid. You have to start with the first dan, black belt, first dan, second dan, maybe. No, but you don't need more. You are a beginner. No, people wants to start with 10th dan or 9th dan in Taekwondo. I don't know, in Jiu-Jitsu, they have dans. They have dans?
Only belts and degrees, Guruji.
Okay, well, they are very high. Yes. But you don't need, oh, I need this expert, the champion in mixed martial arts. It's, no, you don't need it. You start. Yes, so you go to a very high guru. Maybe the guru say, no, 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 you are not useful. I don't want to waste my time. Go to another guru, lower. For example, people, if I'm not compassionate, people will have difficulties with me to follow me. Yes, I had to explain all the time the things like children. All the time like children. If I go very complicated, you cannot follow me. So imagine if you go to Abhinavagupta. The guy in some state or crazy thing, nobody knows. Yes, no, it's impossible. It's wasting your time. That's why it's impossible to understand. So this is generally bypassed in the West. In the West, it's bypassed, yes, to have the permission of the guru. People frequently access yoga through Hatha Yoga, the most insignificant type of yoga, by the way. Yes. They call Hatha Yoga yoga out of sheer ignorance. Yoga is greater than Hatha Yoga. It's bigger. It's like calling the planetoid Pluto the solar system. It's the same. Well, this is the way Mother Spiritual Ignorance arranged the things in the West. Sometimes people tell me that they are doing yoga, but if I go deep at the subject, they end up speaking about Hatha Yoga postures and the like. They go to the Hatha Yoga classes. And in this way, sometimes they happen to find spiritual preceptors who use Indian philosophies as the foundation of their teachings. Hatha Yoga classes, sometimes there is some teacher around just moving in this place. When a spiritual aspirant happens to find a spiritual teacher, the former, the spiritual aspirant, usually has no idea that he really is a spiritual aspirant in the first place. He will discover that in the future. It's just hilarious. Anyway, in those cases where the spiritual aspirant has realized that he's a spiritual aspirant, he must ask the teacher permission to be his disciple. Permission. In the West, this is normally skipped because people are used to going to yoga like they go to a gym. That is, they just register and that's it. But as regards a genuine spiritual teacher, the protocol is different. The guru makes the decision of accepting disciples in his classes and not vice versa. Some teachers have more patience and therefore they will take even super foolish disciples, like me, under the wing. But others are more demanding and only take certain kind of disciples. This question of being accepted or rejected is shocking to egos, especially in the West, where individuality reigns supreme. And most people consider that they are in perfect position to make decisions, control their lives, etc. Well, this is an illusion except in the case of a real person with real power. As most of them do not have real power, why they don't have real power? Because they are identified with egos. Ego has no power. As most of them do not have real power, they cannot be in control of their lives. They are always carried by external circumstances. Apparently, they are the doers of their actions, but as a matter of fact, the external circumstances, a way in which his Shakti appears, are the real doers. Still, as they call themselves the doers, they will have to reap the fruits of their supposed actions. This ignorance is never ending. There are different classes of genuine gurus according to their degree of experience and knowledge. If the guru is too elevated, he will not see disciples, but only the self. If the guru is very elevated, he cannot see disciples. So you ask him, do you have disciples? No, I don't have disciples. Why? Because he sees only the self. So he cannot teach. For what to teach? To whom? You understand? To whom? You go to him, I want knowledge, Guruji, I want knowledge. What knowledge? You are Shiva. I see no, nothing except Shiva. You are Shiva, I'm Shiva, so what knowledge? How to give knowledge Shiva to Shiva? How is it possible? So the disciple cannot understand. This guru is very elevated. So in this case, he's not fit for being a guru while his supreme state is fully present. So he will have to calm down a little in order to see disciples. Namely, limited individuals desirous to find a way out of spiritual ignorance. He has to see spiritual ignorance to be guru. Not all the liberated people will teach about self-realization. I repeat, if the teacher is too elevated, he will not be able to teach properly because all people will look like Shiva to him. Not seeing any people in bondage, he will not see any use in liberation. Consequently, a spiritual teacher should come down a little or not to be so elevated to start with. So my guru is all the time elevated. No, because if your guru is all the time elevated, he cannot teach. How to descend in tattoos. A lot of spiritual aspirants want to find the very incarnation of the Lord in person in order to learn about the self. But if that happened, most of them would run away in terror. You find the very incarnation of the Lord. Run away. Imagine a guy like Jesus Christ. Follow me. Leave your house, your family, and follow me. What to do? You can leave your house, your family, and follow him. It's very elevated. You run away. Like this rich guy approached Jesus Christ and told him, I want to be your disciple. What should I do? He said, Jesus said, go and sell all the thing you have. Next return and you will be my and follow me. The rich person couldn't sell all the things he had. He thought, my father collected all these things, my grandfather, how I can sell them? So he couldn't. He was very attached to those things. So we want great teachers, but we're not great disciples. If you want a great master, you must be a great disciple, or you will not understand his ways, teachings, power, etc. In this sense, the state of the teacher should not be so elevated then, or he will be in danger of not having any disciples. I suppose with Abhinavagupta, only survivors with him, yes, to be with a guy like this all the time in this kind of state and crazy teachings. Yes, so poor guy. This is something that the sadhakas, the ones who realize that they are spiritual aspirants, fail to understand. What do I mean? This. The spiritual aspirant spends his life living with unreal people. Unreal in the sense that they do not have self-realization. You live with people around you that they are not self-realized, yes? They are not liberated. You spend your whole life with them, that they have no idea that they are the self, these people. Ordinary people are like that. You spend your entire life, the spiritual aspirant spends his entire life with people like this. The spiritual aspirant has spent his whole life with those people who are unreal. Yes, they exist, they are the self, etc., but they do not know who they are. This way is as if they were unreal. After that, the spiritual aspirant meets a real person, a true guru, and cannot understand him at all. This is a usual situation. Because you are not used to be with real people. So you don't understand what the other person is doing, what he's speaking about. He had to explain to you. It's the only way for you to understand. The interest, ideas, actions, etc. of a spiritual teacher, a real person, have nothing to do with those of the rest of unreal people. This is shocking to a spiritual aspirant if he is not mature enough. In this sense, and only in this sense, there are different degrees of disciples. The great disciples can understand the ways and teachings of a real person, but the rest of disciples will have problems because they are so used to being around unreal people all day long. It's just a matter of time for them to accept the existence of another type of person, a real person. What is real has power. Your essence in you is real. It has real power. What is unreal in you is powerless. Your ego is unreal in you, is powerless. By power, I mean the capacity to know and do in a real way. What is this? The capacity to remain in one's own self instead of in mind, ego, body, etc. Someone who has realized himself to a certain degree at least has personal power. Why? Because he has a real I and not a mere ego that is a product of false identification of the self with mind and physical body. Now an example. Imagine that the spiritual aspirants and the rest of ordinary people are like dust floating in outer space. Dust, yes. They are constantly dealing with dust and more dust to the point where they start to think that such a dusty life is reality. It's a dusty life. So much dust. Yes. But they start to think, oh, this dusty life is reality with capital letters. No. One day, this spiritual aspirant finds a real person, a genuine guru, who is like a planet. The size of the planet depends on the level of his spiritual attainment. At the moment of the contact, this space dust called spiritual aspirant will be affected by the planet. If the planet is very big, they will be more affected, obviously, and vice versa. Nonetheless, even if the spiritual teacher is a little one, he will always be bigger than the biggest ordinary person in this world. That's why Jesus Christ said, the smallest person in the kingdom of heaven is greater than the greatest person in this world. Even a small spiritual teacher, small, is greater than the greatest person in this planet. So the biggest ordinary person in this world is just dust in the end. In other words, even if a dust particle is big, it will anyway be prone to changing according to the winds that blow in the outer space, the external circumstances. In order to stand up to the force of external circumstances, to stand up to the force, to resist the force of external circumstances that blow like a wind, one has to be real and planetary, like a planet. Our Earth tolerates the wind coming from the sun, yes, the solar wind, because the Earth has a magnetic field around. With this magnetic field, stop big portion of the solar wind, resist the solar wind. That's why we can live on the planet. If there is no magnetic field around the Earth, we die because of radiation. Yes? That's why in Mars, there is no magnetic field. That's why you go there without protection, you die because of radiation. You know this? It's one of the obstacles to go to Mars, to live there. So you have to be a planet to resist external circumstances, like the planet resisting the solar wind. A mere dust particle, however big it may be, cannot do it because it's dust. Imagine that the smallest spiritual aspirant meets the most massive guru. In this case, it would be like a little dust particle meeting Jupiter. Some fool around, yes? Spiritual aspirant, some fool going to Abhinavagupta. Abhinavagupta will tell him, no, because this, because that. I don't understand. What is this? What are you speaking about? You don't have to pronounce the name Shakini. What is that? Yes, he said in Tantrasara. He doesn't have to pronounce the name Shakini. So, what is that? Cannot understand the instructions from the Guru. Because it's Jupiter. Evidently, the spiritual aspirant is going to be affected by that teacher in an indescribable way. Jupiter has a great mass and gravity force. Besides, there is radiation being emitted by it. In this way, if the smallest spiritual aspirant meets the most massive spiritual teacher, the former, the spiritual aspirant, will not be able to follow the latter due to the colossal difference separating them both. Therefore, the size of the planet must be in accordance with the size of the dust particle. The average spiritual aspirant is not very elevated. So, say he meets a planet like Mars, a small planet, and is immediately affected by the gravity force of this planet. Next, he starts to move around the planet, forming a disk, and later a satellite, becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, yes, like a satellite, etc. Of course, it's just an example and not an astronomical truth, yes. Some maniac about astronomy will tell me, no, the dust is not creating a satellite. Okay, I'm speaking like this. Over time, the spiritual aspirant becomes a disciple and begins to accumulate mass in the form of power of knowledge and action. You are more massive. Every day you are with me. More knowledge accumulate. Yes, more massive, like a planet growing. In due course, the disciple will turn into another planet, a real person. This is his achievement of spiritual enlightenment. According to the magnitude of it, he could become a planet even bigger than the one of his spiritual teacher. Like with Abhinavagupta. Abhinavagupta became greater than many of his gurus. Yes, he became greater than Lakshmanagupta. He became greater. Anyway, he all the time praises Lakshmanagupta like a disciple. But in history, in perspective, he's greater teacher. Yes. Final liberation, though one will appear in various degrees of self-realization. This is always controlled by Shiva himself. Well, that was just a mere analogy in order to show how the process will proceed in the case of a meeting between a genuine spiritual teacher and a genuine spiritual aspirant. There are many cases of little spiritual aspirants desiring to get in touch with even incarnations of God Himself. Jesus Christ, Krishna, yes. Well, this would be like a little space dust particle rushing toward the sun. Okay, good luck. Even if the sun tries to pretend that it's not the sun, the dust will be tremendously affected anyway. In this sense, if you, as a spiritual aspirant, have to visit your spiritual teacher, who is an incarnation of God Himself, imagine your teacher is Lord Krishna. You had to visit your spiritual teacher clad in a space suit, like an astronaut. You have to visit him because he's so radiating that you cannot be alive in front of him without a space suit. You will notice that your relationship with him will become problematic in the end. It's problematic. He's a very great master for you. You understand? You cannot resist his radiation. So I'm not joking, but speaking the truth in a figurative manner. If the level of the guru is colossal and that of the disciple is microscopic, no spiritual enlightenment will result. The level of both should be the adequate one, or no self-realization will take place in the right way. For example, you go to Lakshmanaju. Yes, he's alive. It's very advanced, guru. Difficult to understand. I can go to him. I cannot. I have some level to understand Sanskrit. Yes, understand Sanskrit. He's teaching. So with me, he's not wasting his time. You understand? I can be his disciple. So he tell me Sanskrit means Sanskrit. Yes, yes, understand that. I'm not. What is this? What is this? What is this all the time? Yes, it's crazy. So I can be disciple, I suppose. Now he will kick me out. But you cannot. You will be all the time asking, and he had to discern a lot to tell you, yes, this, agoris, kapalayikas, all this. Remember, like yesterday, to explain to you what is this. Well, so the gurus sometimes they don't have patience. No, 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 they don't want. They want someone more advanced. It's okay to explain faster. I experienced something like that with my own Sanskrit teacher. My Sanskrit teacher, Salvador Costa Parga, an eminence in Argentina, yes, because he created the first encyclopedic dictionary in Argentina, made in Argentina, because before the dictionaries came from Spain, Spanish dictionaries. So this eminence was my Sanskrit teacher. He died in 2009. He knew too much about Sanskrit and other languages. He was a linguist. He knew a lot about history, geography, linguistics, etc. I had a hard time trying to understand him. Not a joke. He was very big to me at that time, 1989. My intellect very often just had to give up, which resulted in serious headaches. I had headache with him all the time. I couldn't follow him, no matter how much he tried to be understandable. Due to his massive knowledge, I could never feel comfortable in his presence. This is one of the problems as far as acquiring Sanskrit knowledge. If your intellect is not powerful enough, is concerned. Of course, everybody thinks that they are the happy possessors of a powerful intellect. This is all the time delusion. Oh, I'm the happy possessor. I thought so too. But when a person finally meets one of those massive intellects like my Sanskrit teachers, he realizes that his intellect simply cannot cope with the task of learning so many things at the same time. It's a serious intellectual challenge. The first time I met my Sanskrit teacher, he told me that he would not teach me to write in signs, the Vanagari, because it was too elementary. Fortunately, I had learned to write in signs on my own previously. Thank God. Nobody had taught me that. You can use my experience and then imagine the position of a spiritual aspirant meeting a massive guru who is not only a Sanskrit scholar but also a self-realized person. Obviously, if the aspirant is not up to the task, he will feel frustration in the end. Even if that master guru compassionately slows down his high speed, only high-end disciples will catch up with him. Therefore, a spiritual aspirant should wisely look for a teacher who is suitable for his own spiritual size. And for today is enough. Next satsanga will continue. Page 95, 95 will continue with the book. For today is enough. Om Namah Shivaya.